G'day Reefers, I'm Cam the Fish Guy. Thanks for watching Gallery Aquatica TV. Today we're at one of our tank installations from last year called Tall Towers Reef, and we've been asked to come and do a service on the tank and to have a look at a couple of problems with the corals. So today's topic of the video is going to be all about identification of coral problems. So let's have a look at the tank now. So Tall Towers Reef has been running for about 12 months now, and we've named it Tall Towers because the dimensions of this tank, it's 4 feet long by 1.5 feet wide, but it's a really tall tank. It's over 2.5 feet tall. And we have a rock structure which is probably about 2 feet tall itself. So there's really high structure, lots of caves, and the tank is doing really well. So we'll have a look at it quickly. You can see we've got a wide variety of corals and fish. The tank is lit by two Radion Gen 4 Pros, and we've got a Gaia and a MP40 for water flow. So underneath we have NIOS 160, I think it is, and we have the water flowing down through this overflow filter box with a couple of acrylic filter socks with just some Dacron. We have an automatic top-up system, so fresh RO water is fed into the sump to maintain the salinity. And the chiller is a Tico 500. So we've had a look at the tank, but let's have a look at the corals and the problems that we've been asked to have a look at today. So I see 4 corals that are experiencing some tissue loss at the moment. So we'll run you through them and we'll see if we can work out what the problem in each case is. So first of all, the hammer coral. So you can see the green hammer to the right of the pinky hammer has got the exposed skeleton on the far right hand side. So we'll have a look at that in a bit more closely in a second, and we'll see if we can work out what's causing that problem. The second coral, whilst it's not experiencing tissue loss, this sinularia isn't showing the polyp extension that we would normally like to see in a coral of this type. So again, we'll have a closer look and see if we can work out what the problem is here. And just to the left of it, we have a lobophilia, and quite clearly you can see some areas of tissue loss, particularly on the right hand side. Now this coral was moved a couple of weeks ago, and I think I know what the problem with that one is, and we'll talk about that in a sec. But first of all, the fourth coral, which is showing some tissue loss, is this Duncanopsamia up the top here. Now we have previously had a problem with a nudibranch on the Duncanopsamia, so I think that could be the problem, but again we'll have a closer look and see if we can work out exactly what the problem is. So now we're having a look at the sinularia coral. Now there's no coral which is really close enough to this one to be stinging it, and it has always done quite well in this location. So the fact that it's got the reduced polyp extension really makes me look a bit more closely, and when I do, I can see what is clearly flatworm infestation on the actual sinularia. And the flatworms that you can see are actually small oval-shaped brown patches, and if you look closely at them, they move over the tissue of the sinularia. And the main problem that these types of flatworm will actually cause is that they just inhibit the ability of the corals to photosynthesize, to get light. They're effectively shadowing the coral, but they also irritate the coral and just make it less likely to open up fully. The good thing is that this type of flatworm is relatively easy to treat, and so next time we're here, we'll put a flatworm treatment in, and we should be able to eradicate this problem with a single service. So to take this Duncanopsamia out of the tank, I have to take the hood off, and I'm going to take the lights out of the hood because they actually sit in a rail on the top. So our Radion Gen 4s. So I think that I'm correct that the problem is the parasitic limpets, because we've got well, at least two. Didn't come off very well. This is one that I could see. Hopefully it comes off. Oh, there we go. So I reckon this is a problem. So we have previously had nudibranchs on this piece. I can't see any nudibranchs this time. I would definitely say that unfortunately it suffered from another type of parasite, being parasitic limpet. So we have 2 or 3 heads which haven't been affected at all, and they look perfectly healthy. So we'll take this piece back to the shop, we'll frag off the live heads, hopefully they'll grow okay, and then we'll discard the rest of the skeleton. So I'm removing the hammer coral as opposed to moving the giardini, because I think that the giardini is going to be more difficult to move based on the way it's glued into that spot. And I think that the easiest position to move it to will just be to the left of this one. So I think I'll glue it in like so. Now I was going to remove part of the dead section, but I think I'll actually leave it there. It'll probably make it a bit easier to glue into position. Alright, so we're down to the last few mils of glue, so I've cut the bottle open to get every little bit out. There we go. So now to get this guy into position. The angle's not perfect. I've got to make sure that there's enough glue hold so that it sticks. That's better. It's quite incredible how much these Cataphilia giardinis can open up when they're totally happy in the middle of the light schedule, and they really get huge. So I guess I shouldn't be too surprised that it has expanded out to the point that it's hit these hammers, but hopefully we've done enough to save the hammer. Okay, so we've got 4 different corals and 4 different problems. The first, the hammer coral, we had it, it was being stung by one of the corals next to it. And so to fix the problem, we've actually moved the hammer so that it's not going to be in the vicinity of the giardini to its right. The second coral, the Sinularia, it's suffering from quite a bad case of parasitic flatworm. And so next time we're here, there's probably no urgency with it, so we'll just wait until the next service, but next time we're here we'll do a treatment for the flatworm, then we'll do a water change, and that should be the end of it for that. The third coral, the Lobophilia, really we rectified the problem last time we were here by moving it up into the light, and it doesn't look like it's died off anymore, so I think that we've done everything we can do to save that. And it won't be too long before it'll be a normal, healthy looking coral again. And then the Duncanopsamia. So it was the worst of all the corals. Certainly we'll be lucky to save any of it, but I would be almost certainly sure that the parasitic limpets were causing the problem. And so next time we're here, we'll bring another Duncanopsamia and put it in that same place, and I think that it will do totally fine. So that's pretty much it for our coral problem identification. It's not often that we have a tank which is suffering from 4 different types of problems on 4 different types of corals, but it's a very good demonstration as to the variety of issues that can affect corals and what you need to look for when you're trying to determine the cause, and what you can do in terms of rectifying the problem and saving the coral. So thanks for watching Gallery Aquatica TV. I'm Cam the Fish Guy. Happy reefing!
So that's our video for today. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe as well. We'll be putting out videos every week showing a new tank with new products. There's going to be lots in all the videos. I'm Cam the Fish Guy, and keep on reefing.